Hello, my name's Andrea,
And I'm Phoebe.
and today we're going to be talking about Dynamics GP. Your company has probably invested a lot of time and money into GP, and that's not a bad thing. Here at TitaniumGP, we believe in the power of Dynamics GP, and we've found a way to increase the return of your GP investment.
If you've seen our products before, then you know that we've been creating GP solutions for years. Our most popular products are Copy-Paste, which allows users to copy information directly from Excel into GP, and Elastic Windows, which allow administrators to create customizable extensions of their GP windows. With Copy-Paste, we've saved companies hundreds of hours of manually inputting data. Our customizable templates make it easy to organize your information into a format that GP can easily read. Watch how I use Copy-Paste to bulk update data in my company's GP system. In a single paste operation, I'm able to update 12 sales transaction entries. The same would be true if I had 50 or 100. And Copy-Paste isn't just compatible with sales transaction entries. It's compatible with over 80 different GP windows. Our other product, Elastic Windows, has allowed companies to increase the amount and type of data stored in GP. Administrators can easily create unique extensions for every GP window. For example, in this item maintenance window, I've added some fields where users can keep track of the conditions these items need to be stored in. There's also a checkbox for whether or not this item needs a certificate, as well as a file upload field where users can upload a scan of the certificate for items where this is the case. Designing these has become as simple as dragging and dropping boxes since the release of our Elastic Designer earlier this year. These and all of our other tools have drastically improved our customers' GP experiences.
Those are all pretty useful tools, but there are still other places for improvement. For example, these tools still don't tackle GP's speed. Logging in, loading SmartList, and actually working in GP are still slow processes.
Okay, so just don't launch GP.
What do you mean?
Let me show you TitaniumGP's newest product. First, I'll open Dynamics GP. Watch this process. It's quite slow. Now, let's go into Excel. You'll notice TGP Plus here on the ribbon. This is your solution. I'll log in here using the same credentials I just used in Dynamics GP. TGP Plus will read your login and give you the same security and privileges you'd have in GP. I've already logged in here and Dynamics GP is still loading. Now let's look at the SmartList loading speed. Let's give GP a fair shot. Let's open SmartList. Now that it's open, let's load our inventory purchase receipts. Now let's open up an even smarter list. Watch this load. GP is still going, but TGP Plus is done. Dynamics GP takes so long to load because it calls the server 3 or 4 times per line loaded. Our program calls the server once per smarter list, drastically reducing the load on your company's server.
That's cool, but my company's small. We only have 11 concurrent users, so I'm not that worried about server load.
I'm glad you mentioned concurrent users. Using TGP Plus doesn't use up a concurrent user license, so you can have 20 people using GP at the same time without worrying about kicking someone out.
Okay, but what can I do in this program other than loading things really fast?
What can't you do? TGP Plus has our copy-paste program built into it, so users are still able to easily update and bulk update information. Our templates are all easily available and located in the ribbon. Let's use copy-paste to update batch IDs for orders that shipped this morning. Start by clicking on Copy-Paste in the ribbon. You'll see a vertical scroll bar open on the right side of the screen. This is the TGP Plus Copy-Paste user interface. Now, click on Action column in the scroll bar. This will open an additional column with the field for the type of update that we want to make. I'll click on Update Header. Now I'll change the batch ID from ready to shipped. Copy the data you want to paste. Notice how it is now highlighted in yellow and displayed on a table in the scroll bar. TGP Plus will automatically try to identify the transaction type being pasted. But in the case that it does incorrectly identify it, you can click on the drop-down menu to select the correct transaction type. Once you are satisfied, confirm the paste operation you want to complete by clicking this box, and then click on Process Paste to paste the data into GP. When the operation is completed, you'll receive a success message under the Process Paste button in Results. Once you see this message, your GP Smart List has been updated. You can also use our templates to complete successful paste operations. It's just a matter of user preference. We're also introducing a new feature that will continue to be updated: Forms. TGP Plus's Forms feature will give users another way of uploading information into Dynamics GP. For example, the journal entry form will allow users to enter information into a format that more closely resembles journal entries than just an Excel table. This form automatically calculates the credits and debits from each transaction and is compatible with Excel features. For example, I can include a signature field that gets signed after I've finished updating the information in it. Once signed, modifications can't be made without invalidating the signature. This is a pretty nifty security feature.
What about analyzing data?
Great question. As I mentioned, TGP Plus is compatible with other Excel features. You can filter and sort columns for data analysis or create tables and graphics using the data in GP. Actually, let's see this in action. I'm going to open up the Sales Line Item Smarter List. Let's use Excel's Pivot Tables feature. Pivot tables allow me to easily analyze big groups of data by giving me options that make it easy to sort. This is a great tool to use for creating reports. The best part about this tool is that it creates tables and graphics that can be easily updated when information in your company's database changes. For example, let's say I create a pivot table showing items sold. Let's say that this is for a report I have to deliver to my supervisor once a month. Now, let's go back into the Smarter List and make a change. Refresh the pivot table to update all the changes in information. If another user were to add more invoices, I could update both Smarter List and the pivot table to once again display the most up-to-date and accurate information. This means that once I have my pivot table format set up, I no longer have to spend hours making reports. I can literally go into Smarter List before the report is due, refresh the information, then go into my pivot table and refresh it. Done! The information is completely up to date. If I had graphics displaying this data, these would also be automatically updated. Even if my graphic is in PowerPoint, it'll be updated the moment that I refresh the pivot table it is dependent on.
Okay, that's a powerful tool. What else can TGP Plus do?
You want even more? Okay, check this out. Have you ever had to reconcile data for your company?
I hate reconciling data.
Then you're going to like this. Let me open up our reconciliation tool, located right here on the ribbon. Clicking on this will open up a vertical scroll bar on the right side of the screen. Let's reconcile our receiving transactions. Let's say that one of my vendors has presented me with a vendor statement. They tell me I have several open invoices. Rather than going line by line to try to find if these invoices are in fact open, this is a place where I can use the reconciliation tool. You'll notice that the reconciliation went through easily. Now, let's change the last digit of one of these numbers and add an extra one, just for fun. Let's reconcile again. You'll notice that the two modified fields are now orange. TGP Plus has reconciled the data and failed to find these values in the smarter list. If you like this tool, you'll also find the Verify tool to be useful. Verify is for master data and can be used to verify that information is accurate. Let's open the purchase order line item smarter list. I'm going to change some of these fields. Now I'll click on Verify. This function goes through GP and verifies key values for transactional data. For columns that are validated, headers will turn green, indicating that they have been checked. Values in those columns that are not found will be highlighted in red. Notice that the fields I changed are now red. This is a great tool for verifying that the data that you're pasting into GP is accurate. So if I accidentally type an account number incorrectly, Verify will let me know before I paste inaccurate information.
Oh wow, so TGP Plus works exclusively through Excel?
Yes, and there are several advantages to this. As I mentioned before, TGP Plus doesn't use up concurrent user licenses. This will save users frustration when they need to update data, but companies have already hit their concurrent user limit. TGP Plus will also save companies a lot of time and money because they won't need to train employees on how to use GP. As long as users know how to use Excel, they can update GP data. We've also built in several features to make TGP Plus even easier to use, both for new users and experienced ones. For example, we've built in a search bar for Smarter List. If I start typing in this search bar, it'll start to give me options based on what I type. The search bar also works for any Smarter List that I create that would show up in my Smarter List menu. This is a useful feature for inexperienced users who might not know where to find a specific smarter list. It's also a useful feature for experienced users looking to save time. Overall, there are a lot of advantages to making a program that allows users to access GP from Excel. Rather than creating an add-on to try to tackle the speed and functionality symptoms of an old program, we've created a modern portal to access it. Excel is a program that's here to stay, and with TGP Plus, so is DynamicsGP.
Amazing! Thank you, Phoebe, for explaining how TGP Plus works and for going into some of its features and demonstrating how they can be used.